The way companies are going to share data, the power of it, I guess, when it's all joined together, the kind of things that it can do, but also I suppose that an industry with a real lack of willingness to share data. So who's going to take some of the responsibility to make it happen? There's a few interesting aspects.
Yeah, I mean, we touch on it in the podcast, but it's the opportunities around all data at a sort of macro, micro level.
Yeah.
Often the guy with the data isn't the route to market or the revenue stream or is even interested in it. So there's many opportunities to explore with it. I'm fascinated by this whole nervousness around, I'm sat on something really valuable, but I have no intent of going to market with it myself. So I'm just going to treat it like a stock or like an oil. And that's that age-old sort of coin term, like, oh, data's the new oil. And
And I think that's partly what's caused it. People have gone, what's going to be the future for us? Things are going to be data-driven. Data is the new oil is a very coined phrase that everyone's gone, that really sums it up well, and it doesn't, because it isn't like oil. It's a thing that has to be used to have some value. It's timeliness to relevance, so you can't stockpile it, and the data that you collect today is going to be really valuable in 10 years' time when you decide to package it up and sell it, because that information has a time limit to it. It's going to go off in certain elements, and some of it, when it's aggregated together and built into big data sets over a period of time, can predict trends, but it's not that sort of fast-moving real-time stuff. You lose that after days, hours, minutes, seconds even. I guess you've got lots of companies who want that data to use it for something that is adding some customer value, but then they can't get access to the data because someone's sitting on it. It's an interesting challenge for the market.
Yeah, they're almost blocked from potential because they can't get perhaps the pieces of the puzzle together. Well, I think also, and again we do touch on it later, is around the government involvement and the control. The security obviously is a mega hot topic around data. What is the government's role to make sure that there is openness, an element of trust, that people are protected, but also that data ultimately is a force for good? Because data today has been, starts around the Matrix, a lot of hacking. You hear the horror stories in the Daily Mail. There's a big misconception about how powerful and just what a force for good it could be as well. So that's something really.
And it can be that real. That really powerful thing that does drive, and there's a nervousness of it, I guess, because it's new in all aspects of our life and not just in mobility. People having and holding so much data on you is a new thing, and certain people feel uncomfortable with it, and particularly, again, there's an age thing. If you're growing up and going to school now, you've always had a smartphone, you've always had that data collected, but someone in their 60s hasn't, and it's only a recent period of their life, so there is an element of nervousness, but I believe it has that force for good if it's used properly and if it's accessed properly.
And cities as well, I think a lot. I mean, some of the cities, we're lucky in London, we have a city who sort of understand it very well and are starting to do good things, but there are many cities nationally and internationally who don't realise the potential of the role that they have as well. They've got a huge part to play, they've got tremendous amounts of data, and they can do a real sort of next-gen step change if they're empowered to use that data in the right way. It's just giving them the tools and the mechanisms, and to an extent a little bit of the education and rubbing up with the private sector to unlock all of that.
And it could be something, I guess, in summary for this, that we see that there's a huge amount of potential in data. It's not being realised because there's a recognition of the potential, but not an understanding of how to apply that potential, how to create that potential. But I think it feels like that's something that's on the cusp of happening. But again, it's that question of speed of change. It's likely to happen quickly when someone goes, actually I can monetize this at a fraction of a pence per instance, but actually when I aggregate all of that up and I share it and see the value that it's adding, that's a good thing for me. But then, is that going to happen next week or next year or next decade? And that's a big question, and
it's a big topic.
A lot of stuff's going to be riding on it.
I'm looking forward to exploring that a bit more in our future sessions.
Definitely.